thank you for joining us for Reactivated. We'll get straight into it with this close-up of a robot. It's Bot-Bit, but who is this rather bright-looking machine? The answer will be revealed shortly, which leads us on to, of course, the return of our fantasy fight. In this limited edition pencil case, once again, I have many robots. Our first robot in a three-way melee is Pussycat. That's a good robot, invertible with the saw. Next is Rough Dougal. I'm liking this already. I think there's a clear winner at the moment. Mind you, Rough could get tangled. Pussycat could get tangled in with the, going around. The blade might get tangled, he said. Gotta spat that out correctly. And the third robot is Really Big Cheese. Now, that's unbelievable, because it's going to lead in very nicely to our section later on. More will be revealed shortly. Pussycat, Rough Dougal, and Really Big Cheese. Who would win that? Answer will be revealed shortly. Now I'll swap these around because we're going to talk about Really Big Cheese next. It's our Robot Rewind. It was arguably the most deadliest bit of cheese that ever graced the arena, with the biggest flipper, personally I think, probably up until Gravity in Series 7, that the arena ever saw. Our Robot Rewind with Really Big Cheese, which featured in 4th and 5th series along with Extreme Series 1. Now, I loved Really Big Cheese, but they never really, for me, got a chance to show off just what Really Big Cheese could do. I mean, in the first round of Series 4, it tried to show off just how much it could flip by aiming for the house robots. Didn't succeed. Of course, it then went on to Killatron and did a bit of a somersault up and over, which was great spectacle and gymnastics to see. And then in the heat final, a very controversial heat final against Suicidal Tendencies. But overall, the heat, really, for Really Big Cheese in Series 4, not the best, I don't think, by any means. And of course, that was the last fight it won against Suicidal Tendencies. Despite nearly flipping Tornado clean out the arena, lost the wheel in Matilda's Corner Patrol Zone and lost the fight. So yes, it did return in Extreme for several fights. It featured in the All-Stars tournament, of course, and then the epic mayhem against Hypnodisc. And also, one of my favourite fights, as we've mentioned previously, the Flipper Frenzy. But Really Big Cheese only won one fight in that whole tournament against Dietor in the first round of the All-Stars. Again, quite underwhelming, despite the potential here for Really Big Cheese. Now, they did come back for Series 5, much improved, and this is probably my favourite fight that Really Big Cheese had. It was against Axor in the second round, and it was the biggest flip out of the arena that we've ever seen. And again, put up a good fight against Crustacean in the heat final, using the flipper. And in the semi-finals against Dominator, I actually thought Really Big Cheese were going to win. Massive flip once again. That had to be the highest flip we've ever seen from Really Big Cheese. But then, reliability problems, it led Really Big Cheese to play in the losers playoff and didn't recover. It retired. Roger Plant retired the robot and sold it after Series 5. So we never got to see really how much more devastating that flipper could have potentially been. Let me know what you think. It was great to see Really Big Cheese in the arena. Very cocky team. Very professional team, though. They knew what they were doing in the robots. They knew exactly. They were great help in the pits with other machines, and they knew exactly what they were doing in the arena. It just didn't quite convert to memorable wins other than Axor. So I was going to do this first, but we do have a bot build for you today. Quite a few have actually, this is an interesting one for you. Quite a few have messaged saying that they want to see Cobra being built from scratch. And of course, many of you would probably know that we do use a staple remover for the weapon. So here's how to build Cobra. It's split into 4 main parts. We're going to look at the main chassis, the main sort of body bit of the robot first, complete with 2 rear wheels at the back. So as you can see, our underbelly here only consists of a couple of 6s and blocks on each side, and that's your base. Now for the 2 sides, which will help mount and contain the main weapon, simply 2 4s and a flat piece on each side. So attach those to the side, as you can see on the screen now. And this is really the platform now, because you'll see like there's a gap for the next part, which is the weapon. So the weapon, a bit of a cheat, we think, for this bit, but the weapon is simply attached by blue tack to an overlying flat block. Simple, it really is. But it sandwiches itself, which will of course attach to what we've just put on, the 2 side panels. So it sandwiches in and it stops the weapon from moving about. And then at the back, more for decoration really, but it adds as extra armour. You can do what you like really on the back. We just chose to add some sloping bricks just for consistency really. So it was built up into a solid design. And of course the cosmetic stuff on top of the scorpions and the snakes, again optional, but look a million times better when you have Cobra as a robot. So there you go, that's Cobra in a nutshell, and it is definitely the most vicious weapon in the arena, because obviously it's actually metal from a staple remover. Hope that helps. Again, it's a very quick bot build, but I'd like to see your designs. If you ever get a chance to build Cobra for your arena, for your tournaments, do let us know in the comments below. This was, I suppose in another way, a top trump card game. They thought of everything, ranging from board games to books, mini toy pullback range, the remote control cars. There was just so much you could buy at the time. Of course, they were cashing in, we all know that, but they made use of it because we were gullible. We went out and bought the top trump deck, and this had every single robot from the 4th series. Okay, so for an example, let's pick out, gosh, Millennium, Bug, Humphrey, Atomic, Crusader, Dominator 2, there you go. So of course you had a list of height, weight, speed, reliability, armour, weapons, roboteer, skill and manoeuvrability. You'd have a selection of cards, you'd play against someone, you know how to play top trumps, and then the idea was to get hold of everyone's card. Razor, manoeuvrability 31. I thought Razor was quite manoeuvrable, to be honest. I don't agree with that. Very manoeuvrable. In fact, one of the most manoeuvrable robots that ever entered the arena. I don't agree with that. So anyway, you get the idea. Banshee, manoeuvrability 76% compared to Razor's 31%. Roboteer's skill 70%. Okay, let's pick out a robot that I considered a lot better than Banshee. Let's just take, let's see. Chaos 2, 66% Roboteer's skill. They made the numbers up, obviously, but it was still fun. Let me know in the comments below if you had this pack of cards, if you enjoyed it. Did you play anything else other than top trumps? Let me know in the comments below. Just before we get to your questions, there was just time for Bot Bit. At the start of the show, we showed you a part of a particular robot. Anyone at home have a guess? This was pretty bright, pretty orange, gives the game away. It is Killer Carrot 2, actually, who were always laughing in the arena. A little nibble at Mr. Psycho once, which was quite interesting. So there we go, well done to anyone who got the Bot Bit. And our fantasy fight, we go back to Pussycat, Ruff Ruff Dougal, and Wheelie Big Cheese. Now I'm gonna be a bit controversial. I mentioned, of course, Wheelie Big Cheese, how I was quite underwhelmed, even though it was a great flipper. I'm gonna go for Pussycat here. I actually think Ruff Ruff Dougal will do pretty well against the disc. I think that the Pussycat will get entangled within Ruff Ruff Dougal's fur. I think Wheelie Big Cheese would sort Ruff Ruff Dougal out. It'll flip out the arena. Then it'd be 1-on-1 against Pussycat. I actually think, because Pussycat is invertible and very hard to get hold of. I think Really Big Cheese, not manoeuvrable, as manoeuvrable as Pussycat. I think Really Big Cheese would struggle to get hold of Pussycat and flip out of the arena. And in the meantime, Pussycat will do what Hypnodisc did in the Mayhem in Extreme 1 and attack the wheels, rendering Really Big Cheese immobile. So Pussycat for me. If you agree, let me know. If you don't agree, also let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Now we get to your questions. We have our first question here from Henderson. What happened to your old arena from Series 1 to 5? Did you destroy it? We've had quite a few actually over the years about what happened to the original arena. So from Series 6 to 8, it was a brand new constructed arena. From Series 1 to 5 though, you'll be surprised, we've dug it out. Behold, I don't know if this is going to work. Behold the original arena. And here it is. This is the original board. If anyone can remember and see that in detail, there we can see. So the flipper is still there. I can poke my hand through it. It's dropping to pieces now. There's the pit. There was the pit, our original pit. The drop zone, bits coming off there, the corner patrol zones, and of course the flame pit. And there is the, yeah, so it is still functioning. Dare I say it, we might even use it again one day. But for now, it's a souvenir. Anyone would like to buy it, it'll cost you £1,000. Let's put a bid on now, shall we? Anyone who wants that arena, give us your best offer. So thank you, Henderson, for your question. Next we have Joe Ree. Hello again, Joe Ree. Nice to hear from you. Top 3 out of the arenas and why? Well, because we're on the topic of Really Big Cheese, who has been very prominent throughout this episode. Our first out of the arena would have to be Really Big Cheese and Axo, of course, which we've just discussed. One of the biggest and best flips, in fact, the biggest flip at the time. My next out of the arena would have to be Gravity against Dantonk here. Not only was this the quickest fight ever in the original run, the way that the Gravity flipped Dantonk here out of the arena was unreal. It just sent it into another arena. And I think just for nostalgic reasons, you've got to go all the way back to the first ever out of the arena, which of course was Firestorm against Chaos 2. Started it all off, it started the trend. So thank you, Joe Ree, for your question. Now, we also have a collection of questions here. What's our next project? A lot, of course, have been wondering what's been going on over the last few weeks, few months, and is there going to be another series or something? We can reveal that I did promise a while back that we'd be doing some kind of an online tournament, and we are doing. It's in the works. It's called Megabots, and it's all about a tournament based on Arenas of Destruction, using our robots that we created years ago intertwined with the pre-built robots. And it's going to work like a tournament. We're aiming to do it daily, so one a night over 8 nights. It's going to be 6-7 heats and then a final based on groups. So that's our next project. So thank you to many of you. Obviously there's too many to name. That is officially our next project. Cease. Oh, the cease is just called. Hang on, there is one more question, I think, here from Rob off the website. Does RefBot still work? I'm going to get ceased again. RefBots, here he is, and oh, he doesn't work. Oh, well, that's a shame, because there he is. He's working. Not sure if you can see that. He is working. Yes, of course he's still working. I was a bit puzzled as to why he wasn't working. But there he is. He is working. So thank you, Rob. He is working. Cease is called again. Yes, I think I've covered everything. If I haven't covered your question, please leave a comment in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Do keep watching. Subscribe, download, share. And we'll see you very soon on Reactivated. Goodbye.